What's up, everybody? Trey Griggs here, Beta Consulting Group, and you are back for another episode of Standing Out, daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. And listen up, everybody, it's Finish Strong Friday. All right, so whatever you're doing today, make sure you finish strong. Give it everything you absolutely have today, because that cookout tonight is going to taste a lot sweeter if you do that. And hey, listen, we got some swag to go along with that. So shout out to our friend Melissa Guzman. She's got her Finish Strong Friday shirt. You can pick yours up as well at our swag store. Just go to shop.betaconsultinggroup.com and you can pick up one of those along with all the other great merchandise that we have there. And use coupon code BETA-GO to get 30% off your entire order. We got all kinds of great stuff there. We want you to be a part of our community of people that are pursuing excellence every day, and that includes finishing strong. So it's Finish Strong Friday. Have fun, get after it today, and then when you get your swag, make sure you send it to us. Send us a picture of you wearing it. We'd love to see you being a part of our community of what we're doing here at Beta Consulting Group. Also, if you get a chance, check us out on our website, betaconsultinggroup.com. We're helping companies tell their stories and really message and get out of the realm of obscurity into the realm of being well known by telling their stories of what they value, what they are trying to accomplish, what problems they're solving, and their story of how they got started, all kinds of great stuff. So check us out at that point. Fill out the form. We'd love to work with you. That would be awesome. Awesome. Also, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, to TAPS. They are the good guys in freight factoring. They're helping carriers keep those wheels turning by providing discounts on fuel and tires and obviously factoring services and insurance and all kinds of great stuff. And I love that they're trying to educate drivers, make sure that they're running their business well and everything is going great. So check them out at taps.com, or even easier than that, simply click on the link that Morgan's going to put into the notes today, into the comments today, so that you can go right to my landing page. That way they know that I sent you and I get credit. Folks, give me credit. Help me out here. All right. So click on the link and get started with them today. If you're a freight broker, you can also you work with them as well as a referral partner, because you've got carriers you're talking to every day and they need these discounts as well. They need the education, they need the capital and the cash flow. So make sure you partner with them and get started as a referral partner. Okay, everybody, listen, we've had a great week of shows. I mean, a killer week of shows. I mean, check this out. On Monday, great conversation with Tim Tilanoff talking about how he's helping carriers run their business. On Tuesday, Kevin Coombs and I talked sales and leadership. It was awesome. My good friend Jordan Reber on Wednesday, that was one of my favorite conversations of the year, talking about how they grew ARL and his spirit of collaboration in the industry. Yesterday, awesome conversation with my friend Jose Socorro. Just a good dude, all around good dude. Make sure you're following that guy on LinkedIn and wherever else he's on social. And today, I cannot wait for this. I'm so excited to bring my friend Jill on in just a moment. I had a chance to meet Jill at TMSA. Now listen, if you're in transportation and your company is not a part of TMSA, you're missing out. So make sure you go to their website, tmsatoday.org, sign up to become a member. It is one of the most cost-effective memberships in the industry. And I'm talking about amazing people when it comes to sales and marketing, a spirit of collaboration, true professionals wanting to raise our industry and work together to make everybody succeed and everybody do better. And I met Jill at the conference. We had a great conversation. I was so blown away by our time together. I had to have her on the show. You're going to love it today. So everybody, please give it up for my good friend, Jill Schmieg. Jill, how you doing?
Hi, Trey. How are you?
Great to have you on the show. What's going on?
It's Fun Fridays. Let's have some fun.
It's Fun Friday. It's Finish Strong Friday. Some people say Fun Shirt Friday, which I don't really follow that, but some people do that. I don't necessarily follow that. But Jill, it is so exciting to have you on the show today. I don't want to steal your thunder, okay? So we're going to talk about some stuff here in just a minute. But take 30 seconds for those who maybe don't know who you are, what you do, and talk about what you're doing and your company and who you are a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I'm glad to open, and thanks for having me today. My name is Jill Schmieg. Hello to everybody out there. What a great gig Trey has going with the Standing Out show. I'm a big fan. I am founder and chief strategist of Sold in Naples Marketing. I am located in one of the most beautiful places on the face of the earth, Naples, Florida. Funny enough, everybody comes on vacation here and not many corporate clients in this realm, but a few other people in the transportation industry called Naples home. I think there's exactly 3 of us down here. So I do business-to-business marketing, helping a number of companies in transportation and logistics succeed with their brands, succeed with their marketing strategies. And I co-chair the education committee at the Transportation Marketing and Sales Association, which is where, Trey, you and I met. That has been a labor of love for me for nearly a decade, serving that organization. And as you said, it is one of the most high value, lowest cost ways for marketers and salespeople to get engaged in the industry and learn from other experts in the space that are in their same kind of roles.
Yeah,
So
without a doubt.
tmsatoday.org, for those of you that have not heard of the association, if you are in sales and marketing, it is the place to go and be for all of your educational and networking and development that you need. So,
all right, so we're going to talk about TMSA in a little bit, but listen, I gotta lead with this. This is so cool. I want you to talk about this. Now, the name of our show is Standing Out. We think it's important for everybody to tell their story and figure out who they are uniquely and find ways to truly stand out. You have one of those ways, my friend. I was so impressed. I think we were on an elevator at the conference, and we were kind of finishing things up, and you were telling me about what you do on a regular, ongoing, weekly basis to give back. I want you to tell everybody about that and why you do that.
Yeah, so I left after a couple, probably 15 years, going on 2 decades in corporate marketing roles. I left the corporate world and I stood up my own company, kind of initially as a transition into whatever the next chapter was going to look like for me. And as I got into that, I started really doing some soul searching and thinking about what is it that wasn't fulfilling for me in corporate roles and in my career. And I said, you know what? In all those corporate roles, I was so busy working all the time and making those companies, frankly, lots of money. I never really spent a lot of time giving back. And I wanted to do more of that. I felt that, especially in huge corporations that are pulling down millions, sometimes billions of dollars in profit every year, such a small, minuscule fraction of that profit was actually going back to help forward nonprofit and community work. And so when I stood up my company, I made a commitment. And that commitment was I was going to spend 20% of my time. That's the equivalent of one business day.
Right, one full day.
I was going to spend 20% of my time helping nonprofits be successful. Because most nonprofits, and I think many CMOs and VPs of marketing that are out there will agree with this, not many nonprofits have the funding to purchase the kind of expertise that they need to recruit volunteers, to fundraise, to build business processes and sound financial models for their organizations. They don't have those skills. And frankly, they don't have the income to be able to buy those skills. And so I said, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna help nonprofits succeed 20% of the time that I'm working any given business week and make that commitment to give back. And I will tell you, Trey, that has been the most rewarding corner I've ever turned in my career. I do that today. I measure it, I mark it, and it's amazing. And I encourage everybody to think that way. How can you give back more and know that you get in the giving?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, that stands out tremendously because we just don't see that level of generosity by many people. And there's several ways to give back, obviously. I mean, there's financially, like what we do is we try to have events where we can raise money for charity. That's one way that we want to be generous and give back. There's such a tremendous way to help companies that really need the help. They need to get the word out. I mean, if you're a nonprofit and you're doing really great work, you need to tell your story. You need to message and find ways to communicate. And if you just don't have the resources to do that, it's very difficult. So I love the fact that you're doing that. I am not surprised how rewarding it is for you individually, because when we make a decision to give, when we make a decision to be generous, usually what happens is that we receive way more than we actually ever give when we help people out. So I think that's wonderful. It's absolutely tremendous. For those who are watching the show today, if you have ways that you are giving back or being generous as a company, I'd love to hear that. So throw those in the comments. We'd love to tell you that and talk about that. But Jill, I love that you're leading from the front, doing some cool stuff. And it just stood out to me. We had to highlight it. I'm so excited about that. It's very cool.
Well, thank you for giving me a chance. It's something that I don't talk to people a lot about. It's become a little bit of second nature, right? I'm going on 7 years working under that model. And so it becomes ingrained in your daily work and in your daily cadence after that much time. And I'm telling you, for those of you that think, gosh, I can't do one more Saturday, fundraiser tailgate party, and I can't, it's a lot, right? Build it into your daily work. Find a way to integrate it into your life, and it will become second nature very quickly.
Yeah, it becomes a part of the DNA of who you are. It's like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, whatever, eating breakfast, whatever. Like it just becomes a part of the routine. And at that point too, like once you build that habit, it just starts to happen. But what I found too is the more that I build that into my life, the more I build generosity in my life, it seems like just the better people tend to show up around me, the people who are like-minded that want to do that, that make me want to continue or be better. And that also kind of fuels the fire when you know that you're not just doing it alone, you're starting to partner with people that go, yeah, that's really cool.
That's
What
right.
can I do? How can I,
Mhm.
give back in a certain way? When you start to form that community, it's a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a
It
doubt.
does attract a different kind of people. It also makes the energy that you're putting out there much more of a magnet because other people want to be around those kinds of people that have a purpose, those kinds of people that inspire them, those kinds of people that stretch them a little bit, right? Maybe push them
Yeah.
into a comfort, out of their comfort zone, into a place where they haven't been before, and they aspire. They come to try again and aspire to do more once they get around those kinds of people, and that is hugely motivating
Yeah.
for me, but also for them,
Absolutely. And it's interesting what you said there, that it attracts to certain people. This is what branding does. When you build a brand and it's based on values and what you believe in and what you're trying to accomplish and who you are, it tends to attract people who are like-minded. It tends to unattract people who are not. And I think about it like this, if you go out for a meal today, this afternoon, and you go to Chick-fil-A, not only do the people that work there kind of act differently, but the people in line seem nicer. The people
Yeah,
in the drive-through seem
it's
more
true.
compassionate, right? You go to
Yeah,
a different place that doesn't have that culture, and people are upset. They're negative. They're
yeah,
whatever. Like, it's amazing how building a great brand attracts the right people and unattracts the wrong people. It's one of the best benefits of having a great brand is
so
who you're
true.
attracting. So it's awesome. Okay, let's switch gears for a minute. I want to talk about TMSA.
Sure.
I've been selling in the industry for 12 years. Well, I guess 11 years now. I've been in the industry for 11 years now selling. And I had heard of TMSA, but I never actually attended a show. I wasn't in leadership. I was more just a producer and just never had the chance to go. But this last year I had the chance to go to the annual Level Up conference. It was in Orlando back in June. Had the chance to meet you and so many great people, Patrick McFarland and Nathan Messerian, and it's just, Nadine Nocero Tai, so many others. I mean, I could just list them off and you know them all. I was so blown away by the level of professionalism and the spirit of collaboration that existed among that group of people. I don't think I've ever seen that in this industry. I've never been to an event where that was the case. You've been a part of this for a long time. Talk about, where that comes from and why that's been so desirable, I think, for you and for other people that are part of it.
Yeah, so I think, relating it back to brand for just a second, when you think about salespeople and marketers in their companies, they are the stewards of that experience. They're in many ways infusing the personality and the excitement and the cultural elements. They're the ambassadors doing that within their companies. And they have a talent, right? They have a talent and a skill to be able to do that in the companies that they represent. Well, now imagine for a second that you take all those kinds of personalities, right? And you put them all in one place at one time. You have like a recipe for like the most dynamic, good-willed, good intentioned, high energy, positive vibe kind of group you can just about ever imagine, right? I sometimes like
And
to
we
say,
had a
like,
little fun. We had a
the
little
sales
fun.
and marketers are the party planners in their
That's right.
company, right? They get people excited and inspired. And guess what? They all come together at TMSA,
Yeah.
and it's like an exponential effect of like goodness just overflowing. And that's what you felt, right? That's what you're
Oh, it's
describing to me.
amazing.
Is this like
Yeah.
connectedness, this energy, people that are passionate about their brands and what they're doing, and these people all gather together, and it's just like the most beautiful volcano of goodness you can imagine that runs over for a day and a half.
Yeah.
So
It was a great time. We had a lot
so
of fun.
few people are getting out there and enjoying that, and yet it's fairly inexpensive. I mean,
Oh,
we are a nonprofit. We price in a way that it's a relatively easy ask for somebody to take it to their boss. We know that sales and marketing is largely underfunded in our industry compared to most
tremendously.
others.
Yep.
And so we price our services and capabilities accordingly, and we're trying to get the word out there so that the volcano can get bigger.
Yeah, no, we had a great time. I mean, we had fun. The energy was so high. People were willing to jump in and do crazy things and just be creative. But I think the thing that really stood out, Jill, and I'm just going to go back to this over and over again, how willing people were to not only welcome a newbie like me and so many others that was their first time there, but also to collaborate. I have had so many great calls with people like you and Nathan Masserian and so many others, Jeff Lerner, so many others that have basically said, how can I help you? How can I help you grow? How can I help your business grow? And I'm like, we're kind of competitors. Like we're kind of doing the same thing, but they're so willing to help. It was absolutely tremendous. I want to go back to something Michelle said real quick. She said, couldn't agree more in terms of giving to Women in Trucking Foundation, American Logistics Aid. Michelle's awesome too. It's just so many great people that we met there. So Michelle, thanks for watching the show. Appreciate you being a part of it. But that was, to me, that was amazing that people are so willing to help.
It is a very selfless organization. It is made up of people who in most aspects of their professional life might view each other as competitors. And what they all do, the spirit of what they all do in these events is they set that identity aside and they just stop and ask each other, how can I help you succeed? And there is, without a doubt, and a sentiment of doing better things together and doing them smarter will raise all boats in our industry.
Oh, yeah.
And so the people come to the table with that sentiment, and those that don't, they either don't stay around or they change. It changes them to think about the industry in a different kind of way because they suddenly have this very rich and deep network of people that are just selflessly invested in their success.
Yeah, it's absolutely tremendous. And again, I just been absolutely blown away by that willingness to help out and to, like you said, raise all boats. It's like we're all fighting for the same thing because it is underfunded a little bit. In terms of investment in marketing, in particular sales. There's some good investment in there from building a sales team, but in terms of marketing, a lot of times the transportation companies, the sales leader is in charge of marketing, but they're not, that's not really their thing. It's not their sweet spot.
They haven't logged into LinkedIn for like 3 years, right?
Right. Or there's one marketing person trying to do everything on their own, which is hard. It's hard to be, all things to all people as a one person marketing team. So no, it's great to have that collaborative spirit of have those people together. And we have an executive conference coming up. I've never been to this conference. Talk a little bit about the upcoming conference. I believe it's in October in Atlanta. Is that right?
We have a conference coming up. October 20th is fly-in day. And then we have a single power packed day on Friday, October 21st that ends at 3:00. So you can get out and get home out of Atlanta, which is a very central location for people coming from.
Yes, a lot of direct flights, everybody. Yes.
Yeah. So it'll be at the Intercontinental Buckhead in Atlanta. It is the only event of its kind where senior executives in sales and marketing, so think chief revenue officers, chief commercial officers, chief marketing officers, heads of sales and marketing, right? These kinds of executives can come together from our industry and network with one another. So we serve all types of sales and marketing roles from, the administrative assistant to the CMO, all the way up to the chief revenue officer in a company. But one thing that we have heard from the C-suite executives in our association is they want more opportunities to get to know one another, that they can have a very hard time getting FaceTime with their peers who say they have somebody is in Reno and another person is in Washington, D.C., and they've known of each other, but they've never, ever had a chance to meet and actually have a conversation together. So we are doing an executive summit for those kinds of roles in Atlanta. And that will be, once again, October 21st for a single power pack day to bring together and give FaceTime to people in those kinds of roles.
And is the website to sign up? I think it's events.tmsatoday.org. Is that
That's it? That's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put that up on the screen here so everybody can see that. But go to events.tmsatoday.org to learn more about that. We'll put it in the comments as well. We'll have Ruth put that in the comments as well. We'll get that in there. But yeah, these events are just so powerful. And it's neat to see companies like Freightvana, who's doing a lot of really cool stuff with marketing and branding. Companies like ArcBest, who I think has the best swag in the industry of everybody. Swag matters. It says a lot about your company, everybody. Swag matters. They've got great swag, and seeing some other companies that are really doing a great job of marketing who they are, what their services are, what problems they solve, what they value. It's just great to see the tide kind of turning a little bit and seeing some of these companies, do a great job of that. It's exciting to get them involved as well. I know that Shannon and Josh, the guys over at Freyvon, said they're going to be a part of next year's annual conference. So great to see them being a part of what's happening with that. And so I appreciate all the work that you do on the leading the committees that you lead and being a part of the leadership team. It's a great organization. I'm just blessed to be a part of it. And Jennifer Carpus Romaine, can't say enough good things about her. Yeah. She is doing such a great job in leadership, and all the people that are following behind and doing a great job with her. So it's totally awesome. Okay, we got to switch gears for a minute. We got some new segments, Jill, that we've been putting out there. First of all, did you know that today is National Soft Ice Cream Day? Did you know that?
It's Fun Friday for me. So let me tell you what I do on Fun Friday.
Please. Yes.
I go over to my daughter's school and I drive carpool, right? And
carpool. What is that?
I drive carpool, right? So
you're not directing traffic carpool, you're driving carpool.
Yeah. So I go over, I pick up the kids, right? And every Fun Friday, we go out and we get a treat. And now that I know it's National Soft Ice Cream Day, guess what we're going to do today? We're going to go get some soft ice cream.
It was awesome. Yesterday was National Fajitas Day.
Style, right? When we say soft ice cream, we're talking soft serve.
I think you could do the soft cone with the dip. Like if you dip a Dairy Queen cone, that would work, or some soft serve ice cream. Yesterday was National Fajitas Day. We had fajitas last night. We're doing soft serve today. I'm going to be rolling out this weekend, unfortunately. That's
an extra mile on the run in the morning.
That's right. Okay, and we also have a random question today, which this is fitting. So I haven't seen this question, but this is predictable. Oh, Ruth, this is predictable. We got to do better than this. All right. So the question is, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? What do you got?
Coffee.
Really? Coffee flavored ice cream?
Coffee flavored ice cream. A little caramel mixed in, right? If you can get the caramel, you can't go without caramel.
I'm sure it's good. I'm not a coffee person. I've never had a cup of coffee. Not one.
No kidding.
No, never had a cup of coffee. This is all natural, Jill. The energy level, never a cup of coffee.
I'm impressed. Totally.
I wake up running like this. But yeah, never had coffee. And I don't like the bitter. And especially if I'm having ice cream, I don't want bitter. I like salty with sweet, but not bitter. No, I can't do it.
Well, listen, if you put enough sugar in anything, Trey, it just all works out. So.
It's true, but listen, I've tried. Like my daughter likes the frou-frou drinks from Starbucks, the sugary drinks, whatever. I can still taste the bitter coffee. It's in there. I can taste it. I'm not a fan. All right, so my favorite flavor of ice cream, I'm going to go brand and flavor. Okay, my favorite brand of ice cream is Tillamook. And if anybody in the comments said Tillamook, give me a shout out. It's tremendous. It's out of Oregon, Tillamook, Oregon, close to the coast, and they have chocolate peanut butter. It is the best I've ever had. I cannot get enough of the chocolate. They got a bunch of great. I mean, almost every flavor is good, but chocolate peanut butter from Tillamook is to die for. And it's actually in the Midwest now. It's at like my local store has Tillamook, and so you guys around the country watching the show, you should see if your grocery store has Tillamook ice cream, chocolate peanut butter. Oh my gosh! I think chocolate and peanut butter is probably one of the best combinations ever. I mean,
so you got to be careful with peanut butter, though. I will say, not everybody does peanut butter well, right?
You're right. Not everybody does.
Smooth it out. You got to get the grit out of it, right? So you got to be careful with peanut butter.
I have yet to find a bad chocolate peanut butter batch from Tillamook. So I'm just gonna roll with that. But so National Soft Ice Cream Day, everybody. Make sure you get out and have a good time with that on the Friday. Treat yourself a little bit today. I thought that's cool what you're doing. You're like the cool mom, like carpool, like that's so
it's a fun Friday tradition. We get some kind of special thing every Fun Friday. My daughter has language-based learning disabilities. You maybe have heard of dyslexia, Trey.
Oh yeah.
So she has a different kind of language-based learning disability, and these kinds of children do really well with multi-sensory learning, right? Getting a treat after school, having to look at the menu, make a choice, read through the options.
Look at you. You're making it educational and fun. Look at you.
Yeah. Experience eating it. Like those kinds of experiences are how these kids learn. And so we make it a point. Every Friday we have a Fun Friday. We do a little bit of learning. We get a special treat. And hey, who can lose when you're doing that, right?
That's genius. I clearly live in the wrong place. I should be in Naples, Florida. I should participate in this carpool.
You can ride along on Fun Friday.
I know. Go get a treat, do something. I mean, it sounds like a blast to me. So well done. Kudos to you on that. Okay, I want to turn it back serious just for a little bit. All right. So you work with a lot of transportation companies from a marketing standpoint. If a company is out there and they're kind of like feeling the itch, like, I know we need more marketing. I know we need to get started, but we haven't really done anything. Where would you encourage a company to get started if they really don't have much from a marketing presence?
Okay, so two things. All right. You can't go wrong investing in your website. All right. Everybody who is going to entertain the option of buying from you
It's the
is going
storefront.
to go on your website
Yeah.
sooner or later, right? Sooner or later, they're going to do that. So you cannot go wrong investing in your website. Probably, if you're going to invest in messaging and content, getting your messages out there, doing either a blog or some kind of podcast where you're sharing your advice, sharing your perspectives. Both are great channels to kind of bolt onto your website. And then once that content starts getting out there in your blog, in your podcast, one of those two methods, you can start repurposing it and doing tons of different things with it. So well, I recommend both things. If you can only do one, get your website where it needs to be, looking good, robust content about your services. But then quickly after that, start doing some blogging. It doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be often. Once a month, if you can commit to that, is a great place to start. But start putting your perspectives out there, start getting some content that's uniquely yours out there.
Yeah, and those long forms of content like a blog or a podcast, like you said, you can chop those up and use them for smaller things throughout the month. Like you can put, a graphic up with a quote from the blog, and that's a social media post, and you can all those kind of things. I think that's great. I think the podcast is one of the most underutilized forms of communication. I'm excited for companies to start doing that. That's something that we help companies with, is starting podcasts. Because imagine if you're a trucking company, you got 300 drivers. What's a great way to communicate your values and updates and safety reminders and things like that to your drivers, but through an enjoyable podcast with people in your company, highlighting different people and things like that. I mean, I'm excited about that. Or what better way to really highlight what you do than through a podcast? So I'm excited that you said that. But all those forms of content can be repurposed to create more content. So it's not a heavy lift to actually have some decent content out there and not spend a lot of time, a lot of money making these things happen. So I love it. And the website thing, I mean, that's your storefront, right? That's your retail storefront. You want to make that look as good as possible. It's oftentimes your first impression. It's oftentimes like people look at that and go, I don't think I want to work with this company, or,
It's incredible, really. I mean, data shows, Trey, that 80% of buyers in business to business, right? I'm about to buy $1 million in transportation spend from a carrier, right? Those kinds of buyers, 80% of them will visit a company's website before they're even willing to have a conversation with that company.
Yeah.
If your website does not show well for your company, you're never going to hear from them.
Yeah, it's the website, the swag, everything that you do that presents your company. It reflects who you are. It builds your reputation, right? And so everything needs to be high quality. That's why I say cheap swag is just worthless. Just don't do any swag, as opposed to doing cheap swag, because it says everybody you're cheap. You didn't put a lot of thought into it. So I think that's great advice. Website, and then some sort of content like blogging or podcasting. Great places to start. And there's obviously intricacies in both of those. When you get into the website, there's SEO, there's content, there's design, that type of stuff. But I think those are
in the beginning, right? If you asked me,
right.
What is the
Keep
one
it
thing?
simple.
That's it, right? Keep it simple.
But if they find somebody like you or other people at TMSA, they can get a lot of really great help in getting that done. So we're just going to point back to the collaborative spirit and the professionalism of TMSA to get that done, which is awesome. So Jill, listen, we're up. It's about 30 minutes. This always goes so fast. Appreciate having you on the show today. I sure hope you'll come back and see us again another time.
I would love to. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah.
On Friday to everybody, go get some soft serve ice cream, right?
That's right. Go get some ice cream today. Enjoy the warm weather. It's gonna be heading out soon. It's August, it's gonna be heading out soon. So get some ice cream on that. And everybody who's watching the show, make sure you come back on Monday. We have another TMSA special on Monday. We got Holly Laboda from Luminaries Consulting. She's going to be on Monday. So make sure you come back for that. And listen, it's Finish Strong Friday, which also means, everybody, that we have another episode of The Word on the Street, episode 120 today. My good friend Josh Mecca. He's of ACT, a carrier in Kansas City. So we're going to have a great time with him as well. So make sure you come back here in just 1 hour for that. We're going to have a blast. And everybody else, have a fabulous day. Have a fabulous weekend. And we'll see you right back here for another episode of Standing Out, a daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. Thanks, Jill. Appreciate you so much. We'll see you.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.